Welcome to the A.I.P channel where anything is possible. We'll talk about anything and everything your heart's desire. We are broadcasting on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting. I can't even speak. So, tonight we want to talk about, we talked about the Sphinx the other day, and now I want to talk about another Sphinx, possible Sphinx, they found in Pakistan. It's very wind eroded. The possible another 12,000-year-old carving, carving right out of the heel. Of course, that's how they truly believe the Sphinx was. It was outcropping, and they just carved it down to what they wanted. It wasn't like they moved stones there. It was already there, and they carved around it. So it's the same principle. It's pretty interesting. We can share a screen real quick, and the ones that are watching me on video right now, here's a picture of it. If not, you can look it up. Just look up Pakistan Sphinx, and you'll be able to find it with ease. As you see towards the top, it's very wind eroded, so its face is not there, but it does have very kind of pronounced looking jaw. A very kind of on the sides looks just like the Sphinx. It's very didn't mean to do that. uh, you know, very Sphinx looking. I don't even want to try Balochistan Sphinx, or the Lion of Balochistan. It's in modern day Pakistan. They put a highway through it, and so it got people start going that direction, and they noticed it. It's not just a Sphinx right there. There's lots of carvings and looking like pillars. Yeah, let me share that for the ones that are watching. It looks like the way you just glance at it, from 1,000 yards back. It sure enough looks like it. I'm curious what it looked like up close, for sure. And I mean, if it is 12,000 years old, I mean, lots of eroding. Of course, the Sphinx has been worked on for thousands of years, trying to keep it, around. Ancient times, they were rebuilding on it and working on it. So, if this didn't have that same luxury, very well could be, very well could be an ancient structure. It's an interesting concept. There's lots of course, there's those others that uh, don't share that same thought on it, and think it's just natural water weathering, or natural just or wind, really, the way it's weathered is wind, but it's just a natural outcropping. But it is very interesting, when you see the picture. For the ones, I got another picture up. Another picture, if you can see it. Yeah, here's the name of it right there. It's in parts of the structure. I mean, it looks like it was weathered and rained down here. It's one of them makes you go moments. It's not the only Sphinx and type structure out there. It's there's more to them. There's more. The more you look, the more open minded you are. The more they're seeing out there. I mean, you look at that kind of time frame. How much things can change and how much nature can weather on stuff. I mean, you've seen how much weather's stuff done around here in the last 100 years. Now you you 120 times that, a lot of stuff can happen. You know, as Graham Hancock says, we are uh, we have we have amnesia as a people, and I truly kind of agree that. Here's a close up of the ones that watch me on video on YouTube and Spotify. You can see the pictures if you listen to me on the radio or any other the podcasts. Um, you just had to look it up for yourself. Check it out. As always, if whatever I say, don't take it for face value. And this is just me looking and speculation on other speculations really on this. So just bringing it up to others' attention. I didn't know nothing about it, so if I didn't know and was curious, I figured there'd be many others that would be in the same boat. So yeah, it looks like there was a head, but you can see the wind. Uh, yeah, the wind going across there and eating that, and then rain coming across there, like a little bit of everything. Just, of course, the softer rocks got eroded first. Let's think about how Dr. Robert Schoch would say it. It's of course the age of it is pure speculation. It could be back into the first younger dryas. I mean, it could be even older than that. It could be part of there's speculation of the Egyptian Sphinx being older, all the way back to 34,000 years. Um, most that most go along with the 12,000. Well, I'll say most. There's a lot of people that go along with the uh, 10,500 BCE date frame. Could be a very good possibility. Of course, uh, Egyptologists don't want to agree with that. Throws all their what they say out for a loop. And of course, they've always said that because there's no other ancient societies and stuff at that time frame. But the more we look, the more we find. Um, it's pretty interesting little thought on it. You got, if you go back, like I said, if you go back, I'll share it again on my, it looks like and here, if you're watching it, if you look up, and if you're listening, you can get a chance to, you know, it looks like there's a temple complex at one time, but there was sediment and stuff washed in front of it. Who knows? It looks like washed down. It really does. And I don't think there's really been any kind of archaeological look into it. Of course, that costs a lot of money, and you got to have backers and stuff like that. But I don't think anybody's really looked into it. Especially like curiosity, like on this area here, it looks like it could have been a structure at one time, and like especially in here, right across here, all the symmetrical pattern as it says. That's Mother Nature can do some amazing things. Now it could be completely uh, natural, and if it is, I mean, who's to say? I mean, one to try to bring this over there. I've been trying to do this for a few days now, but uh, this and that, life gets in the way. I got a snowstorm going on, so I got time. We're getting a little bit down here in the south. Of course, it shut the whole south down because of snow. Ain't nothing going on. I'm just gonna see, put the questions out. What do you think? Is it possible that this is another ancient sphinx? Is it style building? structure, I guess you'd say, with his own uh, temple right there below it. Of course, they would have to just carve their own, and it's just amazing to even think about. Even with the Sphinx, they took an outcropping and carved it down. Well, you turn around like this right here, you have an outcropping, and they carved it down at possibility years ago. Man, the manpower and the knowledge and the ways they didn't kill themselves for falling off, had to have uh, some kind of scaffolding or and ropes, and a lot of folks underestimate our ancient counterparts. They really do. It's for sure one of them makes you go moments. Just looking at the picture here on my screen, it's it's absolutely amazing. It really is. That the possibilities of it are there. But again, I'm asking the question. If you see this on the YouTube or Spotify, questions there. You can ask a question in it, and maybe get the discussion going. You listen to the radio station, just ask the question again. Still, try to check out the Troubled Minds live feed on the podcast at night, and jump in and call in, and especially if it's a similar subject. On another one, I want you is you got the twin pyramids of Zinder all the way down in Nigeria. It's got ancient um, petroglyphs and all kinds of, and if you look at the pictures on it, it looks like they have a sphinx and a pyramid. I'll post a picture of that one. Y'all can see. If you look at some of the older pyramids, and you'd be like, well, that don't, that's too whatever. Well, the old pyramids didn't, you know, if you look at them now, they don't look like the Great Pyramid. If you just look at the pyramids down down in Mexico and stuff several years ago, they didn't look like they are now. They had to be cleared off. They were covered in brush and trees and everything else. Uh, you know, pyramids and such all over this world possibly at the same time and before. Things that make you go, for sure. Let me stop sharing the picture. Figuring out this share and unshare and all that. Well, I'm still learning. I'm trying. And I appreciate y'all listening as always. What on the other question is, what do y'all think of the Nigerian ones? They have, amazing architecture. You got amazing brain just right there. You got the amazing petroglyphs with the giraffes and stuff. That's dated back 6,000 years, 6 to 8,000 years, it says. Who knows? But the more we ask them questions and more we try to find out, the better off we'll get for sure. Yeah, we keep on and keep on. We'll eventually figure out, and learn the facts, and some things will happen in my lifetime and some things might take a while for a while. We don't blow ourselves back into the kingdom come and back into the Stone Age, which is a possibility. We could do it. It'd be a big reset, and we had to start all the way over and do it again. And 12,000 years later, people will be looking and finding things and going, "What is this? What is this? What is this car right here?" You know, 12,000 years, there probably won't be too many cars left over. Only thing probably, be left be uh, Mount Rushmore and stuff like that. Like, who are these people? Were they gods or were they this? You know, if we lose all society and 10,000 years later, they're gonna look back up at Mount Rushmore and go, who are these people? Were they? They'll probably ask that question. Are these gods? Are these not? It's a it's a pretty cool thought process on that. I guess in a way, it's kind of dark in another way. You know, like that series on history a while back. Life after people. After 1,000 years, what would be gone? 5,000 years, 10,000 years. Like Statue of Liberty probably crumbled down. You got stuff like that because all that metal work has to take. You had to keep it up, and thing stays for generations of stone, and especially in dry climate, comet. A comet could hit us too now, and stick us all the way back into the Stone Age too. One of them interesting to me. It was interesting seeing those two, and just you know just looked into the Sphinx and looked into the Egypt, and on one, and as soon as I did that, I seen this other one um, in Pakistan, and turn around and seen another possible in Nigeria. It's shown all over. They had the same ideas and the same. Um, of course, they believe they found where Atlantis used to be in Africa, back when they had an ancient river going through, and Africa was a different place back 12,000 years ago. It's the more research and more people dig, it's pretty interesting to see what everybody can do and everything. So we just keep on keeping on and keep asking questions. The only way we can learn anything is we ask questions. We don't ask questions and we don't look to see the truth. Even on the maybe juice truth, just the possibilities of the truth. We'll never grow as a society or anything like that. But on that subject there, that's about all I got. It wasn't I just seen a few little things on it, and just I truly want to just bring y'all's attention, let y'all see it, and ask questions about it. And like I did, I figured you might be interested, like I was interested. So check out. I need to check out Troubled Minds Radio, and there's some great uh, shows on there playing all day long, so you can get your fill of knowledge and maybe juice. For me, you can get on Spotify and Apple and all that good stuff. Amazon, several others. I'm trying to anyone I can get. People might want to listen. I try to add it. So check them out. Like, subscribe, check out the radio. As always, I sure appreciate you. And y'all just keep on keeping on, and peace and chicken grease.